Welcome back to the Bianconeri zone for a live show, and it's a pack one because I have a lot of things I want to talk about, and I'm gonna go step by step. From um, what happened post game, obviously. Because I didn't speak to you guys since Empoli, to Giuntoli almost waiting 48 hours, and speak up. Do you believe what he had to say? To all the rumors about Gasperini and Conte, like good rumors, not just crappy sources. To Chiellini, I think doing damage to a lot of things, obviously, and Verona a little bit because we play on Monday and today's results have gone our way so far. So we just need to do our part. But before we get into it and we go step by step, Malik, Norbert, how are you guys doing? We're in it, right? Drew, Interlook. No, you guys go. How are you doing?
Yeah, yeah. I watched the game with Napoli Inter, and yeah, Inter is really tired. I don't know how they're gonna finish this season. They're also in the Champions League, and Napoli is just not good enough. The quality of those players are not good enough. So I'm really happy with the draw, and we can come 2 points closer. And I'm living game by game as Motta, and I'm just happy now. And let's hope we win. And then it's 3 points from Atalanta and 6 from the top, which is cool. And then we will see.
I'm okay. It's all good. Fasting started today, so a bit chilled out. Yeah, it's funny how recent match days are going on. It's giving us that delusion, isn't it? And the fact that even if we go level on points with Inter, we'd go ahead of them because we have the better head-to-head. It's just very funny to me. But yeah, I don't think the Scudetto should be a discussion. I mean, if we get close, that's fun, but I can't see it happening. Just being realistic, I'm trying not to get ahead of myself, but yeah. Other than that, good. Lots to unpack today.
You know what is funny? That if it's equal on points at the end, there's a game for the champion.
No. We have the head-to-head, isn't it? Head-to-head. So.
But I don't think it matters if it's the same points. I think there's a playoff, like a game. But I'm not 100%.
No, I think that's if the goal difference and the head-to-head are the same. Then,
Yeah.
like we saw with Verona and Spezia for the relegation. What was it, like 2 years ago? I think.
I think Malik is right. I think it's if everything is on points, basically. That's why they're talking about Inter not winning the big games, basically.
Yeah. It was the seventh big game, I think, this season that they didn't win or something like that. Yeah.
Maybe they changed it, but I remember I remember not this year's draw for the calendar, but the previous season. I was watching a live, and that's what they said, about how things work. So maybe they changed it, but it's not. We shouldn't be thinking about that. But is it fair to say, despite we know our struggles and we know how we look, but just in general, is it fair to say that Inter look tired? Çalhanoğlu has an issue now. Di Marco has they look tired. I think Napoli look a bit toothless right now, even though they had the possession. There's not any real chances coming out of that. And Atalanta look a bit all over the place because in the first half they should have been down 2 goals. I don't know if anyone watched the game against Venezia. I watched it.
The highlights, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they had their chances but I mean, Venezia proved why they're going down in that first half. They should have killed it off. But is it fair to say that every team has a struggle right now? The only difference is we drop way too many points, stupid points in terms of not losing, but just throwing away games. Is that I think that's the difference. I don't think we can make up for it because we've proven that we cannot make up for it, basically. I know we make up a lot of ground right now. It's because the other ones are struggling more than they were at the start of the season. But there's no proof out there that we lost, basically, against Empoli's B team and Primavera. That's
We are
still
just way too random. Like there is no guarantee, as you said. Like there is no guarantee that we're gonna just win these games that we draw, that we played. So far. So yeah, I don't know. I'm just happy that we are there and we have the chance to be there and the game by game.
Yeah, I mean, we're probably the most inconsistent team in the league this season. You
Yeah.
know, we can't play a good full 90 minutes, so that's why I'm just not trying to get too excited. But you know, it's just crazy to me how close we are despite our shortcomings this season. It's we made so much ground, yes, but if you think about it in hindsight and stuff, the amount of points we dropped and everything, like we should be at least 6 points, 6 to 8 points ahead of what we
Yeah.
are now. And you know, if things turned out the way they did, you know, results wise for everyone else, we'd be top of the league, which is funny to think about. But yeah, it shows you how poor
you
the
know we
competition is this season.
we have a lot of tough games, especially away from
Yeah, we
home.
still do lots of
Um,
tough away games. Yeah.
I looked at Atalanta's schedule. I've like their schedule for the next. Somebody maybe because I cannot get into my phone. It's doing an update. The next 6 or 7 games are insane for Atalanta. I think they play us. They play Milan. They play Lazio. They play Fiorentina or Inter. They play like that's their schedule. If anyone can look it up, they play the entire top 8 basically in the next 6 or 7 games. It's insane.
So I have it here. So the next game for Atalanta is us on the 9th, and then Inter, Fiorentina, Lazio, Bologna, Milan. Yeah,
It's insane. Like it's actually
Yeah.
insane. Now we have tough games. We have Fiorentina away. We have Lazio away. We have Roma away. We don't like with Bologna away. We have a lot of tough away games. But yeah, it is what it is. I think we should worry about Verona. We will get to Verona at the end of the show. I think that's the biggest worry for us because we have no idea how the team is going to react, but we're going to build up to it in this show. Let's start with the beginning of this, I think, insane week. Let's go step by step because I didn't speak to you guys. Like I was planning to do a live. My voice was gone. So this is it. You know, I talked quite a lot about what happened post Empoli. So I'm going to ask you guys 2 questions at once. How bad of a look was it what you saw against Empoli, and what is your main takeaway of Motta's post game? Because I thought, like, I don't know if anyone watched the press or even if you don't understand Italian. I was watching it, and at one point I was like, he's gonna cry, or
Yeah.
he's gonna say, I'm stepping down. Like that was the vibe. Like I was looking at a man who, it was too much, and a man who was like, I'm on my own right here. Nobody is really standing up with me. So that was my takeaway. But Norbert, you go first. Result and post game.
Yeah. So seeing that Empoli started 8 bench players, I was really like confident when the game started, and wow, look how it turned out. It was an absolutely disgusting game. We can say it was the coach, it was Motta and the players as well. Because I'm sorry, but like if you think you're a good player or like worthy for Juventus, you should do more, a lot more than what we saw. So yeah, that was a disgusting game. Well, he was almost crying after, and then for me the worst, how the management is not backing him after a game like this, and we had to wait 17 hours for a 3 minute press conference where Giuntoli said nothing. And he said it to the to Sky Sports instead of our own media team, instead of Juventus media team. So it looks really bad. And then Chiellini as well, what he said today. I'm sure we're going to talk about that as well. So it looks really bad as it is, and I'm not sure if Motta has a way out. unless something crazy happens and we actually start to play as we should, and we finish like, I don't know, second, third, or whatever, like really confidently in the top four. But yeah, it looks really bad, and I don't know how can we get out from here, from this mentally, because that's the main problem the whole season is the mental issues. Like, we're not strong enough, we can't hold on when we're leading. So yeah, it's a really packed week, and I just can't wait to see us how can we get up from this, and Monday can't come soon enough. And yeah, that's all from me.
Yeah, how wrong were we, Norbert?
Yeah.
We were expecting a cruising victory, and I mean, who could blame us? But
I told you guys.
yeah, you did, to be fair. But yeah, just awful, just getting knocked out to Empoli. Just the fact we were on that completely easy side of the bracket and now we're not. And I think most of us we took it for granted that we're gonna be in the semifinals and potentially the final. And yeah, here we are out of it. Two cup eliminations in a week. Not good. The vibe around the club just feels very toxic at the moment. I feel like, you have Motta calling out players, without mentioning names, but called out players. You have a sudden link to coaches just magically. And you know what that means when that happens. I'm sure we'll touch on that. But yeah, it's looking very ugly. And I really am getting a toxic sort of energy that's happening around the club. So, yeah.
Does anyone, like, post Empoli game, like the minute after that game or the day after that game, looked at that result and was like, yeah, we got outplayed? Like, because usually when we lose a game or we don't win a game, I'm like, yeah, tactically, like Stuttgart, tactically. When I watched that Empoli game, I don't think it was a tactical issue.
Yeah, no.
That is my biggest fear right now, because we can all say, do this and do that as a coach, but I was watching that game, and I think that's why he was so emotional post game, because he said that never ever, out of all the teams I coached, did I see a lack of effort, basically. And he coached relegation side Genoa, for example.
Yeah.
When he said that, because before he said that, after the game, I was like, because I said to my dad, I was like today has nothing to do with 4-3-3 or 3-5-2 or this. Today, it was just effort. It was the attitude. It was just the vibe around it. Like the first half hour, we were dominating, but we were not dominating. If you know what I mean. Like we had control, but we didn't have control. It felt so off from the get-go. People hit the like button because we only have 9 likes. But Norbert, do you think Motta could have done anything else on the day tactically because the team out there is good enough to beat Empoli, a normal Empoli side.
Yeah.
It's good enough to beat their B side / Primavera side. So that's why I'm saying it didn't look tactical. It looked, like he said, just the attitude, the effort.
Yeah. So a coach has many things to get right. Obviously the tactics, who you select, but also they need to know how to motivate the team, and this is the main issue, I think, because these guys just can't motivate themselves. And a coach like Conte can, a coach like Zidane can, because I don't think he's a genius coach tactically. He just know what to say. And
but
isn't
that a player issue then? Like, because he said some expect without giving. When he said that, I was like, that's wild. Like, Malik, don't you think, like, that statement, when he said that, because I watched the presser and type it out. When he said that, I paused. I was like, hold on. Like, he just admitted in the locker room, there is a massive issue with players. And we will talk about in a sec who and whatever, but like, how big of an issue is that when you said that?
It is a massive issue because one, it tells me he's kind of losing the dressing room, and another part is just it just confirms all our suspicions from the entire season, where mentality is just a big issue with a lot of these players, and translated to a lot of failed results in many games this season. So when I read that what he said, I kind of saw it coming all season at some point. Just we needed that tipping point, and just yeah, here it was.
Norbert, I mean, let's move on to that. Like, I forgot about this topic, of that topic, so I'll bring it in because was a report out there, and I don't like the report when it's a friend told. I cannot take that serious. Like, I refuse to take that serious, even though we know that's probably true, and that that those things get said, because they have friends. They speak like it is what it is. However, I don't like the reporting where it's like, name the players or don't report it. That's one. However, I think we can all believe that's true. That some players are like, I don't like the coach. But I've heard that with Sarri. I've heard that with Allegri. I'm done with it right now. Because I don't know who the players is. Maybe you have some, names for me. However, that's a massive issue because at that point the club should really step in. And that's why I made a video about Del Piero, and people are like, oh, he doesn't know about management. He doesn't need to do the management stuff. I'm not asking him to do the management stuff. I'm asking a person to step in and be like, he's the coach. It's him. It's not you guys. If you're not okay, you guys are out. Somebody to make that clear that one man is in control and you're following that man. If not, you guys are gone. Like, how, do you have names, or which players should have that mindset? Because I was thinking about it, like, who the hell are these players? Like, who is it? And what possible issue can some of these players have who are playing horrible, by the way, individually?
That's the thing.
Like, if is it Vlahovic? I'm like, you've played horrible all season. What is your issue? Is it Cambiasso? You've played horrible ever since those rumors came out. Is it Gatti? You're playing week in, week out, by default or not. You're playing, and praise the Lord, you're playing for this club. What issue can these players? It cannot be Colt Miners, or is it Colt Miners? And is he forced to play Colt Miners? Is it Nico Gonzalez? People say, I'm like, you're awful, and you're still being picked. So what issues can I cannot wrap my mind about it around it. So, do you have a theory about which players it are, what the issue is these players have with him?
No, personally, I really don't know. I think one possible explanation is that there is no stable starting 11 and the captaincy that is going around. But like, come on, you're a professional. Like, just fix yourself. Like, I really don't know what can be the issue on the player side, because everyone is playing. Who's healthy, they are playing. Like, that cannot be the issue. So I'm really baffled. If it's true, really don't know.
I have a theory on who it is, and I genuinely think it's
Tell us.
Vlahovic. I genuinely think Vlahovic, because remember earlier in the season when he got an assist or scored for Serbia, I don't remember, and then he was like, "Oh, this is what happens when I don't have to do defensive duties and stuff." Yeah, I felt like from then there was tension and stuff, and obviously now has some games is not even starting, not even coming on, so because Colomoni is outperforming him, no brainer. But yeah, he just strikes me as the type. I don't think they really have a good relationship. Just from my opinion. But yeah,
You know what it is? He's not playing, so he shouldn't, like, I think it's more than Vlahovic. I think it's obvious Vlahovic. That's one of them. But he's not been
Yeah.
playing, so it shouldn't really affect. When I hear things about that we're not happy about Fagioli and Danilo, I'm like, that's cool, I guess. Like you're friends, but you're a professional. I think you're being paid by the club. There's one leader. Like I hate because if anyone what like follows a bit of Man U and listens to podcasts, it's like the moment the new coach comes in, within 10 games, it's like, oh, the players do not like the coach. I'm like, you guys are shit. How can you not like the coach? You guys are a massive part of the problem. I hate it. Like last season, I wanted Allegri out for 3 seasons, but I'm on record saying some of these players need to go. They just need to go because they're not good enough. I don't like their attitude. And that was paired with, I want Allegri out after 3 seasons because it's not good enough. I paired it. And right now, when I blame Motta, I also blame players. Like some
Yeah.
attitudes are just disgusting. Goldmines, for example, a player I believe in. However, the performances, like individually, that has not, like some things he does have nothing to do with playing as number 8, playing as number 10, playing much deeper. It's just you're rubbish. Period. You're rubbish. It's really that bad. So I don't even know what some of these players are looking at because individually, some of these players are just crap. Like it is what it is. They're crap. So when he said that, I was like, he's kind of covering himself because he knows leaks are out, and leaks are coming out, I think. And he's like, listen, some of these players are expecting things, but they're giving absolutely nothing, which is crazy, but that's what he said. Let me write a few comments before we move on because we still have a lot to discuss. Lazio fan in the building saying, can we play your bum team, which is crazy because you're still behind us. So that's quite telling, I guess. I'll probably beat you at Lazio. Let me see. I will talk about Chiellini in a second. Some people are saying Cambiaso, maybe probably because the way he played in that second half, if I was Motta, I would have pulled him, with my own hands off that pitch. Like, that was kind of a sabotage session he was trying to do. It was actually crazy. And somebody, like, it's a different story, says Alex, saying he wanted to go Cambiaso. I don't give a shit. It's mid-season. You're going nowhere.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care if you want to go Man City. Fine. It's mid-season. We are in trouble. You're under contract. Play. That's it. This is not, I don't know, like, this is not Sassuolo mid-season and you're pushing, like, you're still at a massive club.
Yeah.
Shut up. I don't care who we are. Like, I don't care. Like, even if that was, and I'm saying Chiellini in his prime, or Buffon in his prime, we're not letting you go mid-season. Like, I think you should have brain cells enough to know that I'm playing for Juve. They're not letting me go mid-season. It's impossible. So if he's actually heard about that, then buddy, I don't think you're made for a top club. Like, if you cannot understand that, that's crazy to me. I'm sorry. Like, that's actually crazy, but that's just me. Lazio fan back saying, I think it's a massive mistake to sack Motta. I would love if you sacked him because then again next season you'll be a banter. I don't like sacking coaches. I'm not a fan of that. But yeah, okay, let's move on. So that happened, and then the Giuntoli interview happened. 17 hours, almost 24 hours. The moment it was announced and it was on Sky Sport, I was like, we're gonna hear a lot of bullshit. And I will make it very clear, or like very quickly for me. He said all the good things. We're backing, we leave in the project. But then he wrapped it up with, but top 4 is a must. And I was like, I don't care. Whatever you said before, you're lying. And not that top 4 is a must. We know top 4 is a must. Period. Like, it's obvious. You don't say that, in my opinion. Because if you believe, like you said, in the project, in Motta, like I said, you can miss out on top 4 on goal difference. If you believe in what you're doing, you're not sacking him. Right? Or am I wrong? If it's
So
if you're
the-
10 points off top four, if it's one, like when he said that, I was like, I don't care about what you said minutes before that. I don't believe you. Also, because you waited almost 24 hours to do that, I don't believe a single word you're saying. But Norbert, do you believe Giuntoli?
So I might have missed it, but didn't he say also that the style needs to change, or how we play, or something like that? Like
No, he said
top
it's
four is not
important.
enough.
No, no, you said, top four is a must. We believe in the project. Improvement
Uh-huh.
is basically needed and stuff like that. But
Yeah, I don't. I'm sorry. Like he came out 17 hours late, and with this 3 minutes to Sky Sports. I'm sorry, I don't believe anything he says. But we all know it's not just the coaches and the players. It's the management and no leadership and all that. So to be honest, I'm so desperate that I would take Agnelli back with Conte or whatever, just to make me happy again, because Juventus is not bringing me happiness in the past few years too much. And I'm not a man or a person who likes to go back to things like old players, old coaches, whatever. So it's hard for me to say, but I'm just desperate at this point, and a lot of things need to change for us to be back where we belong. And right now it's a mess, and I don't believe anyone. So I don't believe in Giuntoli, to be honest.
I think what Giuntoli is saying is just to cover the cracks until the end of the season and stuff. But I'm truly, truly, truly convinced Motta is gone at the end of the season.
that
The
was
sudden link to new coach is just either coming out 17 hours after the defeat and everything. Just I don't know. That's just a very strong feeling I have. And yeah, it's either Gasperini or Conte in the summer. And I'm with you, Norbert. Conte is my pick between the two if I had to pick. So yeah.
that was gonna be my next question, and also people in the chat. Everybody in the chat, let me know. Does anyone believe, or like, do you believe Motta's gonna be here next season? Yes or no? People in the chat, and you answer that, Malik. But I agree with you. I don't see it happening, even if he gets top four.
Yeah,
Purely
me
because
neither.
what Motta said post game. Like that was a statement of I'm alone, in my opinion. The Giuntoli presser, waiting that long, and the way it came about, and all the rumors, all the leaks about players this and players that, I don't see how he survived. And actually, I feel sorry. I really feel bad for him. Not saying that he's not making mistakes and so on. I'm not, like, people know who watch the channel, I come on and point out mistakes every single time. I feel bad. I really feel bad for a number of reasons. One, him, because I think he's a good coach. I really think he's a good coach. That's one.
Yeah.
I feel bad before the fact that I don't think the club is really committed. They're more about the picture they painted, and it's like whatever. Like if it's not working, look at Motta, and not look like that's how the vibe is
Yeah.
right now at the club. That's why I think he's not gonna survive, and I feel bad because I don't want to become that club. I don't want to become get Sadi, get him out. Get Pirlo, get him out. Get Allegri, it was shit. We waited, get him out. Get Motta, get him.
Yeah.
I hate to be that club. I recorded a video for tomorrow about coaching because it's in the news. I hated doing that video. It's March. I don't want to talk about it, but here we are because it's too much, and it's clear the club is doing absolutely nothing to stop those rumors. Those rumors are out there for a very good reason.
Yeah. So for me, we should change everything in the upper management before we change coach. Because we truly need a leader like Agnelli was, and not Erkan, who is schmoozing with Hamilton at the Bahrain test and the Formula One test, which is like, come on, dude. And one day after the Empoli game as well. like Juventus is not that important for him, and he doesn't know what he's doing. And we need a leader up there. And all these money man he brought in also can go now, because we improved our position like 112 million positive compared to last year. So I'm not sure how important their place at the club anymore, even though everything is Giuntoli's job. But whatever, yeah, for me, Motta should stay potentially. It depends obviously on the top four for me, but also how we play. But then again, like, it's a project, and sometimes it's hard to get things done, and we have lots of young players and all that. It's really hard to make a good decision on this. But for me, the upper management has to change as soon as possible, and some leaders need to be there, and potentially Del Piero needs to be there as well, as you mentioned in your video as well. So yeah, we will see, but it's a mess.
I want to address this comment really quickly. It's not a I'm not calling you out, but I don't want to hear, if I hear one more time Allegri didn't have a transfer market, I'm gonna lose my shit. I really am gonna lose my shit. I don't have time for that. I'm sorry. It's not like, because I've seen that narrative out there. Look it up. Look it up. And we changed a lot of players because we sold all of, like, we moved on everybody else. So yeah, you're gonna bring in a lot of players. And I'm gonna ask people say, oh, we brought in so many players, but the same people do not rate those players. So how are you gonna say, like, how are you gonna sit there and be like, oh, we brought in so many players, but at the same time you do not rate those players? Like, it makes no sense. Like, that makes no sense. So isn't that the issue? That's one thing I wanted to address. And also the Del Neri one. If you think Del Neri is a better coach than Motta, fine. I mean, that's your opinion. I think it's actually mind-boggling. But
I think Motta is just not ready for Juventus, a club like Juventus,
maybe,
and that's it.
But like you could be right. However, when it's like all the point tallies with Del Neri, like if you want to do that, you can do that. I don't have time for that. I'm sorry, I don't have time. If you want to debate who the better coach is and so on, then fine. Like, I watched Del Neri seasons. Yeah, I mean, I hated football. I really hated football at the time. Yeah, the team was bad and whatsoever, but I mean, Del Neri is a poor coach. Okay, so that happened. Giuntoli happened, and everything basically. We talked about it, and then today, Chiellini spoke, and I'm a bit surprised that people are okay with what he had to say, because when I listened to it, because the videos are out there, I was like, you cannot be serious. I'm sorry. I'm like, read your own room you're in every single day. That's what I was like. This is not me saying, oh, I hate Chiellini and whatsoever. Like, he's one of the best players I've seen play for this club. I love him. However, you cannot go out. You cannot go out this week when all the talk is about Motta doesn't understand what it means to, coach Juve. He doesn't understand the players. He doesn't understand that. Giuntoli comes out, backs him, even if you don't believe it, yes or not. You cannot come out and say, Allegri knew what Juve was. The moment he came in, he understood what was needed. And people are like, don't read too much into it. I'm like, he works for the club. Like, you cannot do that. I'm sorry. You just can't. You absolutely cannot do that, because the moment he said that, there are 50 articles out there, I'm not going to lie, about Chiellini is also against Motta because he doesn't understand. I'm like, yeah, Motta's going to see these things. Everybody's going to see these things. Players are going to see those things. You cannot do that. When he said, and I was like, he was asked about coaching and Allegri, but you can say anything about Allegri. You can say, man, good coach, one of the best coaches I had. He coached me, but it was so specific to all the reports out there today or yesterday, it is about Motta doesn't understand. Like the reports are out there that Motta doesn't understand the Juve world. He doesn't understand the locker room. It's too big. You can have said a million things about Allegri. I don't care. This is not about Allegri, by the way. This is not about him liking Allegri. I think he's a club legend, Allegri. Whatever happened, he's a club legend for me. You could said a million things, but you cannot say that because that goes against everything Giuntoli said, and you just put Motta on the spot again. Because if you have one idiotic journalist out there, first presser out there tomorrow, he's gonna say Chiellini said that Allegri understood the world, the Juve world. What do you think about that? I'm pretty sure it's gonna happen. At one point, somebody's gonna ask that question. I don't like what he did, and that's why when people say, and I'm one of them, bring ex-players back, I'm against it. The only way I made my video about Allegri, I'm like, not management, just between players, club, like management and coach, somebody in between who understands it, who people respect, who doesn't speak to the media. I don't want Allegri and Del Piero to speak to the media. I don't need that. That's not what I need. But when Chiellini said that, I was like, no, absolutely no. But Norbert, what do you made of his, I think, specific statement?
Yeah, I didn't believe it first, but then I was thinking and like, okay, he played under Allegri, he won a lot under Allegri, and he needs to be smarter. I'm sorry, like you can't say these things, especially now. Like if he comes out, I don't know, after the season or something like that, but like, yeah, he can do this. It's really bad. Look, yeah, I don't. Yeah, I was really surprised. He's this stupid, to be honest.
Yeah, the timing of it all is just very inappropriate. It's, all these rumors coming out of our, new coach incoming and Motta losing the dressing room and all that. And then suddenly, out of nowhere, Chiellini, yes, Allegri understands what it's like to manage Juve and the Juve way and whatnot. Yeah, sure, he did play under him for many, many, many years and won a lot, and I'm sure very good colleagues, friends, whatever. But as you said, Ali, read the room.
Yeah, that's my. If he wasn't working for the club, I couldn't care less. I'm like, whatever.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. But like the fact it's coming from within the club it just adds to the theory that that Motta's gone at the end of the season, the theory that we all have. So
Yeah, it's fitting for our situation. I'm not gonna lie. I'll give them that. I'll give him that. It's very fitting. But the moment he said that, I'm like, it wasn't needed. Like you could said a million things about Allegri. I don't care. But man, like, come on. Like, it's very specific to what was said since Empoli. And even if you believe he's not the right guy, that's fair. But your boss, Giuntoli, came out saying he is our guy. You need to back that in front. Like, you cannot leave any sort of speculation. And people are like, oh, you're reading into it too much. The articles are out there already. You can look it up. I'm not, like, I know, everybody knows how it works. Everybody knows how it works, So when he said that, I was like, just what we needed. Like, absolutely what we needed. Even more speculations, like you said, Malik. It's just it's just pouring gasoline on already massive fire. Like, instead of water, instead of throwing water on it, it's just pouring gasoline on it. I'm like, Jesus Christ. Like, I feel for Motta in that regard that he's not being back at all, And like, the Lazio guy is saying that, and he's right. We changed so much, so many injuries. I'm actually stunned that the management is stunned that it's not going all as smoothly. Like, that kind of tells you that they're not. Like, when you bring in, is it 60 new players? You actually might be right. I think it is right, actually.
Yeah.
I
think it's 16,
with next gen players coming in, it's insane. Like, it's insane. I've watched, I think it's Partizan basketball team. I think last season, the coach removed every single player out of the squad. Like, literally, all of them, and brought in 16, I think, or 15 new players. You know, like, that's the only way. Like, we changed the entire squad. So to expect it all go smoothly is madness. I was expecting more, but I think injuries took a lot out of it as well, which I was not expecting. I couldn't predict, but I was expecting struggles when you change that much. Like, we
Yeah.
changed a lot. Like, from last season, Gatti is there, Bremer is injured, so he's not there. Cambiasso is there. I'm talking about, starting players. Locatelli is there, and Vlahovic was there for the first part of the season because Yildiz wasn't a starter. That's it. That's it. So, is it normal that we're gonna struggle? Yes. Is it normal that we're struggling this much, this deep in the season? No, I don't think so. However, you chose to make a lot of changes. You chose to go with young, unexperienced coaching and players. I think it makes for this basically. If you thought you were gonna beat Inzaghi and Inter, who are extremely experienced, that's not realistic. It's not realistic. It really isn't. Let's be 100% honest with it. It's because, like, I watch my hometown team over here, Genk. They are 9 points ahead on Bruges, but the playoff starts is gonna cut in half. I know they're probably gonna give it up because they're not experienced enough. They're extremely young. Because I've seen them doing it 3 years ago, when they were also 10 points away, and they lost it to Alderweireld's last kick of the game at home. Like, literally. Because they couldn't see out the game. In a game they dominated, and they should have seen out. It should have been 3-1 over. But they didn't do that, and Alderweireld, with the last kick of the game, draws the game, and it's gone. They're the champions. Like, it's normal. The fact that we took so many points off Inter is actually insane to me. It really is. Like, if you deep it shouldn't happen, but we did manage to do that. But I think it's normal that there are some sort of struggles. What I don't think is normal is that when it's clear that players are going against the coach and the management doesn't step in, that I don't think it's normal, in my opinion. That's just me. But I guess I'm wrong.
Yeah, no, you can't. You need to back your coach. Like, come on. They said it's a project, it's a new cycle, and yet no support from the management. So it's really weird. Lots of injuries. Still, what hurts me is that there is no identity of the team, and I don't think it matters who plays. Everyone should know their job, and that seems to be missing. And that's on Motta. And even with these injuries, we should beat a team like Empoli, and that's on everyone. So, yeah, I don't know.
Really quickly,
yeah.
And I want to ask that question to Malik then, because somebody's saying we didn't change players. Our players were 16 random one. We changed it with 14 quality players. It's still 16 players who do not know each other with a new coach.
Yeah.
And probably 6 of them have been injured in and out the squad. Probably. Maybe more, maybe less. Like, Cabala's gone. Vega comes in, he's out. Douglas Luiz, in, out. Nico Gonzalez missed, I don't know, probably the first part of the season. Like, he missed it. So Conceição had injuries. Like, it's not like, Malik, how realistic would it be for us to be winning the title?
No. It's not realistic at all. That's why I said from the start of the season I didn't expect us to win the league. I expected top 4, and I expected us to compete to an extent, and it being more comfortable with an identity. I always said at the start of the season, let's see an identity at least by halfway through the season. It's not there, but you have to feel for Motta, because all the injury, our defense is absolutely decimated with injuries. Even the new signings are getting injured. And just constant injuries to other players, not a stable 11. It's just, it would be a shame for Motta to get sacked, as a result of this. Obviously, he's had his faults, he's not perfect and all. But, it's still the first year of a project. I'd like him to stay another year and have more stability and continuity, If Allegri can get that, sure, as a club legend and, favoritism and all. But, Motta deserves that as well, doesn't he? So, you know, if it doesn't work by season 2, his contract is up anyway. Was it 2 years with an option or 3 years? I don't remember.
Maybe 3 and an option, I think. I'm not sure.
Okay.
I think as well.
Yeah, if it doesn't work by next season, sure, then you have more of a reason to look for another coach. But you have to contextualize it a lot. And this season, was not a steady season by any means in many regards.
I will read out the comments now. How many Serie A teams changed their coach? Lots. How many teams had injury? Many. How many Serie A teams had many transfers? Serie A spent the second most in Europe. Other teams changed like us. No team changed like us. Like you just said it. We changed 16 players. No club is changing 16 players around Europe. I think ever. Like let's be real for a second.
Yeah.
That's one. And we all sat here all summer saying we're overpaying like madman for these players. So I don't want to talk about value and stuff. We overpaid. We overpaid like crazy for coal miners, for Gonzalo. We knew that. We knew that. This January was speaking about we are throwing away money for loans. We're overpaying like crazy. And yes, you can change coaches. But remember when Contextualizing came to Milan and won the Supercoppa? I remember that live. People were saying, see. I'm like, he's not good. Milan are going to be worse. They are worse. I don't care they won the Supercoppa. They won it because Locatelli lost his head. We were in total control and we were cruising to the win in that game. Easy. Until Locatelli said, fuck this. And Gatti was like, whatever. They were rubbish the entire game. They're rubbish now. So yes, you can change coach. It can go a good way or a bad way. I'm not going to debate that because I don't know. I cannot look into the future. But what we did this season is not normal in terms of changes. It's not normal. It's not normal. I'm not saying that we made the wrong decision because the players who moved out, a lot of them, they needed to go. Period. They were not good enough. And they proved to be not good enough over the years. So, I'm not going to hold that against anyone. What I do say, and I agree with Malik, you expect a clearer identity by now. That I put on Motta. 16 players, injuries or not, a more consistent identity because I think we have an identity. It's just not consistent. That's my issue. And yes, you're missing pieces, and like you said, the back line is chopping and changing. I get it. That's fine. Okay. But you need to find a solution to kind of work around it to be consistent. That's still your job, You cannot say, I know it's an issue that we don't have a center back that can really play out from the back. But it's not here, so it's March. You need to find a way around it. That's a decision made in the summer. It's gone. It's done. We cannot really moan about it because we cannot change that. When was the last time we spoke about breaking down a low block, regress in style of play, and bravery? Motta lost qualities that brought him here. We couldn't break down a low block for 3 years. So, when was the last time? I don't know. We didn't regress in style of play. I don't agree with that. Because I don't want to, the people forgot how we looked last season. That's a serious question.
Years, let alone last season.
Yeah, I know but the last, let's say from February till the end of the season last year, the people forgot. I'm actually asking a serious question because for some reason, when I open Twitter, it's like we didn't win 2 games out of 14 or something, and we were getting bopped by, when I talk, we got played off the park every single week. There was not a good half or a bad half. We just got outplayed for 90 minutes straight. The people forget about that. That's just me. regress under Motta. Maybe, but since when? Like the first 2 games, first 3 games. Like I don't think there's been enough improvement. I agree with that. 100%. I do think injuries played a part of that. However, at one point you need to cope with it, and you need to find a way. That's all I'm saying. People hit the like button because we only have 25 likes, which is kind of sad. So get at least to 40 if everybody hits a button right now. New leaders, new manager, new players, new system. We don't have the same players week in, week out. So how can there be consistency? I agree with that part as well. We had a clear identity for Motta's first 6 games. Where we had a minimal injuries, but after Bremer, it was ups and down. You know what it is? Like, missing Bremer is massive, but do you guys think, because it's been brought up a lot of times, Bremer, do you think missing Bremer should cause such a struggle? Because I don't think, because yes, conceding goals, but overall, it's not all on Bremer, right?
Yeah, nothing will change. Nothing would change. I think we would be more stable in the back, but that's all. That wouldn't fix the main issue for us, which is creating chances against smaller teams, which is an issue for months and months. So yeah, and to be honest, I wanted to list all the games from last year when we didn't win. After the Empoli 1-1 with the red card, but I don't think it's worth it. If someone can remember last year, that's crazy to me. But yeah, back to the topic. Yeah, probably a few more points, maybe, just because our defense would be stable. But that Bremer wouldn't give an identity to this team that we are still missing. So yeah.
Yeah, Bremer obviously would have given more stability, and maybe some games we would have closed out better. But at the same time, Bremer is not gonna go up there and create chances, is he? Because that's one of our issues. Bremer is not gonna play as a number 10, which is, one of our main issues is not playing an obvious natural 10. So,
Yeah.
I get it. Bremer is, in my opinion, he's the best center back in the league, and he's very important. And losing him was killer. And the fact we barely replaced him in January, despite his injury being 3 months long, is a big question mark again. But yeah, it's not all on that. You have to. There are some things you just have to overcome. Bremer's eventually gonna come back. But we can't just blame it all on an injury that happened in September. As important as he is.
Like somebody said, he could have probably brought us 4 to 6 points more. Yeah, probably.
Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah.
And that's maybe enough to be in a title race and, fake the belief in the players or spark something within these players, maybe. But like getting overrun by PSV in the second half, you're not going to solve that by having Bremer in there. Like, that's what I'm trying to do. You probably not concede the Fiorentina goal, for example, or the Lecce goal, maybe, But when you got outplayed for halves, then it's not about one piece. I wish it was that easy, because then it was like, yeah, Bremer's back next season, we're back. But it's not that, because we play like Bremer goes down against Leipzig against him, and we do what we have to do, and after that Kalulu, remember that period? So I wish it was that easy, to be honest. It's a massive miss, obviously, especially when you play with Gatti at the back at times, and then it's Kelly, and it's Riyad, and it's McKennie. Obviously, it makes sense, but that's that. Next question, because I want to go to Verona as well before we wrap it up. We spoke about all these things, and the rumors are right now that Motta's gonna change things, which I don't know what that means, because I don't even know how these reports come to fruition, basically. However, do you expect a statement from Motta? Like, do you expect something where we all sit back and like, man, he was talking about him, and him, or something like that against Verona? because Perin came out and he echoed what Motta said, where it's like it's not tactical, it's not about style of play, it's an attitude. That's the thing. So you would assume that Motta's like, okay, I'm done with you, and you. It's completely done. Like you're not gonna play right now. Other players are gonna get. Thuram, for example, if he doesn't start on Monday, I think this fan base will lose his mind. Like that, like that's a player key for me. Where I'm like, if you start leaving Thuram out week in, week out again, you're gonna lose the part of the fan base that's still backing you, because it makes no sense when you talk about some expect without giving. He is giving, but you're not giving him. So, nor do you expect a statement in terms of not words, but like just on paper.
I think I was always optimistic throughout the season, but Motta turned out to be so stubborn every single time when I saw the light at the end of the tunnel, let's say, that this time I don't believe anything. So I say nothing really will change. That I would call big change. So yeah, I just can't. I need to see it. I really need to see it. I can't trust him right now. So I don't believe anything will change. And yeah, if Thuram is not starting on Monday, I will lose my shit for sure.
In my opinion, Thuram has been our best player this season.
Yeah.
Undoubtedly. And just watching him play just different, just very, very, very good player. And the fact his starting position is up for question is just crazy to me. Will we see something different against Verona? That's the question. Is what are we gonna see? Yildiz at 10, Thuram, Locatelli, double pivot again? I'd hope so. One can hope. Hoping is free, but we've hoped for that for so long this season that I really, really doubt it. I really doubt we're gonna see that drastic of a change where you're like, oh, it's different. But then again, after his statements, after how low he was against Empoli, I don't know. We'll see. But my answer is no, I don't expect something that crazy. I expect Thuram to start, hopefully.
What do you guys made of the statement of the Curva Sud? Because they were backing shit last season. Let's be honest. And they made a statement before the Coppa Italia saying, and they put out banners in front of the stadium saying, we want to go to the Club World Cup with Allegri. We're going to be in Rome for the final to say no to Motta and Conte. I'm like, man, you can have your beliefs, but you didn't do that for 3 seasons when we were rubbish. And now, and you can go out there and they have every right to say it's not good enough. And tomorrow go, they're going to go in front of the stadium and then they're going to go to the J Hotel where the players are staying to make it clear that they're not happy. And that's fine. Nobody's happy. So I've always said it, you can do whatever you want. If you're not, we're not happy. If you want to make that your voice heard tomorrow and tell the players and the coach, this is unacceptable. It needs to be better, so on, so on. I'm like, cool, whatever. But you didn't do that last season. That's one thing. And they also added Monday during the game, we want to make it clear. I'm like, if you're in that stadium, that's my opinion, because I hate when I go to the stadium and it's minute 10 and I see people or I hear people whistling and booing. I'm like, Jesus Christ. It's like, it's not going to get better. It's actually going to get worse the moment you do that. Believe me. It's going to get worse. So, Norbert, I know you have a strong opinion on it. And again, they have every right to do that. But it feels very inconsistent, and it feels like it's not about the club anymore. It's about personal things, about we wanted Allegri, we didn't want this. And I'm like, it needs to be the club still.
Listen, ultras are a different animal, I think. And once they like someone, it's really hard them not to like that person. And sometimes it looks like that it's really about the person. For me, the biggest thing is that what they do now is they're gonna go there and protest, and this is their only weapon, basically. Is to voice their opinion. And yeah, I hope many fans will join them and then go there and voice their opinion. But I don't want to talk about it too much. I think it's I don't know. Ultras is always in my heart, and I was part of a group before, so it's like I understand what they're feeling, and also if, as I said, if they like a coach, then they will like him forever, basically. So that part is that yeah. Right now, I'm happy that they're going, and it's a good thing, in my opinion.
Also, that do you also agree that they said Monday during the game, join us to, because at the end of the day we're playing, like it's not gonna help. It's really not gonna help. Like at the end of the day, you still want to win, and like that's just my opinion. At the end of the day, if you go out there because they're like it's all about the club and it's all about the club, I'm like support the players. How bad it is still, like they're not gonna show up if you start booing from minute one. Like it's gonna get worse. They're gonna play even worse. Like it's just natural. If you have somebody in your life who's calling you out every single day, not believing in you, it's tough to prove them wrong. Like if it's daily, if it's consistent, and that's what it is basically.
So the booing, I don't understand because I never had that experience that a fan group was booing a team from the first minute, like from the beginning of the game. So I don't know if, because I might have mistranslated it, but that's what they're planning, right?
Yeah,
Like,
that's what I kind of took away. They said join us Monday, and maybe they mean pre-game, outside of the stadium. Join us, because actually I will be stunned if Monday they kick off and they're not singing. I will be actually shocked. I'm not gonna lie.
I don't, because I never seen that a Curva is booing the team from the first minute, because obviously then they have more pressure on them and it's not good. So yeah, that part, if it's true, if that's going to happen, I strongly disagree with, because I never seen this behavior from any other group in my life. So yeah, I hope it's not going to happen, that part.
Protesting because we're in a bad moment, yes. In some ways, you can do it. But when it comes to booing your own players in your own stadium at a home game, I'm completely against, because, just going to turn the home game into an away game, and this is a must win. We need to get as many points as we can till the end of the season. It's gonna just add further pressure on the players, not gonna make them feel good, make them feel nervous potentially. Again, we can link that to a mentality thing if you want to. But yeah, I do see what you're trying to say with the double standard, so to say. And why now? Why weren't there protests in the last 3 seasons when we were complete garbage? But yeah, I guess, as Norbert said, when ultras love a coach, they becomes one of them. So it would be impossible to see them do that to Allegri. So, but Motta, some of them might view him as an interista still. So, there's that. So
I saw him celebrate the Conceição goal. I'm gonna say nah.
yeah, exactly. I mean, it's his job at the end of the day. He has to embrace it,
He's a
like this whole he's an interista and whatnot sort of talk. My opinion, I don't look too much into it. At the end of the day, he's a professional and he has a job to do. So
same, like Milan's biggest legend supported Juve growing up. Like
exactly,
Chiellini supported Milan
after he retired. Just like, I'm a Juve fan and stuff, and like he was mint for Milan, won a Ballon d'Or with them and stuff.
And Madi as well, when he was growing up, he was a Juve fan.
Chiellini was a Milan fan. It's just this is just how it is.
It's like when people talk about Tonali, he's never going to join. If for some weird reason he ends up playing for us, you think when we play Milan, he's like, screw this. He made it very clear.
Gregorio was an Inter-Ultra, wasn't he?
Again,
something.
I mean, Tonali made it very clear that, and he was talking about Inter, because Inter wanted him. It's like, I couldn't. That I can understand. But when he's linked to us, and I'm not saying he's joining us, by the way, but we play Milan and he plays for us. Do you think it's like, screw this game? Not gonna show, like, it's not gonna happen. Like, you're a professional, you're getting paid, and in the moment you're like, Locatelli, if you cut him up, he bleeds black and white. When he scored against us, he was almost crying on that pitch.
Hey, he lost his mind when he scored against us. Yeah.
And he's
I,
like,
I thought he was a Milanista this whole time, and then when he joined us, he was like, oh,
yeah,
okay, you're a Juventino since you were a kid.
you're a
He did it.
professional.
That wasn't clear, just part of the game.
It's part of it, but yeah. Final question before we wrap it up, because I'm not doing a preview tomorrow, because I'm not sure how my voice will hold up, so I'm not gonna risk it. What do you guys think? Again, walk in the park like Empoli?
No,
No, it's absolutely unpredictable, to be honest. It's
If
Yeah,
let me add something to the question. If after what happened this week, with all the statements and everything, and the results going our way, and I think Milan play Lazio at home, so I'm not sure what that result will be. However, with that in mind, knowing that you need to play Atalanta and Fiorentina before the break, if they don't get the message right now, then we're doomed, right? Like, if
Yeah.
you don't understand it right now, then it's a wrap for this season, right?
yeah, we have to see a change on the pitch, like the mentality, everything. Like they need to understand it's Juventus, and we always need to win, no matter who we play against. So yeah, if we don't see a change this against them, then I don't know what's going to happen at the end of the season. So we really need to win this one.
yeah, we do, and I'd love for it to be a walk in the park, and against Verona it should be. We said that against Empoli
At home,
at home, yes, on a Monday night, and all that. But we tend to struggle against these sort of teams, and
yeah,
against the big teams, the big games, we play better. So
yeah.
it's very weird team, very weird season. But yeah, I don't think it's gonna be as much of a walk in the park. I think it's gonna be a very low scoring game.
So what is your prediction for Monday?
You go, Norbert.
2-1.
Same 2-1. We're going with you're reading my mind. We're reading. This is telekinesis.
I don't know. I think it's just semi logical to because I will never say we're losing or
Yeah, me
anything like
neither.
that.
I might say we draw, but like I'd never say we lose. But unless
just
I'm
Verona
really,
is so
really
bad.
down bad.
Yeah,
I
Verona
remember
is
one
so
time I
bad.
said Inter would beat us 3-1, and we drew 4-4.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I really don't. This is so hard now, because either they change everything and it's gonna be amazing, or nothing will change and it's
Look,
It's a
Norbert,
struggle.
we'll keep it like this. I want to see something. When we're pessimistic, they're gonna win 4-0. When we're optimistic, shit hits the fan. But let's see.
I think it's gonna be 2-2.
Oh,
I think we will have a reaction on that pitch. I think we will play better, but somehow, some way, I think we will find a way to mess it up. That's just my feeling, because we've proven it. I think they will
Possible.
kind of show up in terms of like, okay, the effort was there, the drive was there, but somehow, some way, it happened again. That's a vibe I have from this week, because it's not a positive week, and what's gonna happen tomorrow in front of that hotel as well. Like, again, like, you can protest, but I don't think the players are like just what we needed. Like, I don't think they're gonna go watch out of that window and it's like, that's what we need, we're gonna show up tomorrow. Like, I don't think it's gonna help. But let's see. I hope I'm wrong, because I want a win, because we have Verona and we have Atalanta and then we have Fiorentina, and we need 9 points for the simple reason about, you need the reaction, you need to get close to Atalanta, and you need to keep Fiorentina off your back going into the break. that's sad as well. Also, I don't know what's gonna happen with Lazio tomorrow. They might end up losing, so it makes it even bigger. But let's see.
Yeah.
Let's see, people. Good show. It's actually been a while since I did a Saturday show, probably over a year. I just was free this Saturday, so it's probably not gonna happen anytime soon. Again, I'm assuming. But yeah, once my voice is back, there will be back live shows, more live shows, call-in shows as well. But I'm not gonna do it right now because on my own I cannot hold up for an hour. So that's that. Tomorrow daily, and then Monday, it's match reaction post Verona. Let's see how that will go, and let's see what's gonna still pop up in the media between now and Monday. People, we have 60 people in the chat, which is cool, but only 30 likes. So whoever didn't like the video, hit that like button right now on your way out. It doesn't cost you anything, but it does help the channel out massively in terms of exposure. You know, it's as simple as that. So hit the like button. Appreciate if you do that. And yeah, Norbert, Malik, thanks for a good live show. Not the like we didn't have since the channel started. I'm still waiting for a good couple of months, like a good where you feel like, not last season where you like we were winning, but you're like it's not really gonna last. You kind of know that, but like a good thing. So hopefully at one point we will have that on the channel, so I can I can show my true self and start hating on everybody. But it's not possible right now because I'm gonna look like a weirdo. But yeah, thanks for joining, people. As always, again, hit the like button, subscribe, all that stuff, and I'll speak to you guys tomorrow and Monday. Ciao.